afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, amazing, riveting Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda, Hero of Psych, Defender of the Fatherland, off here to 1 vs 1. Oh, nah. Yes, indeed, you guessed correctly. It's the road to Kharkov. In the south, it's NightRaven. 0203 will just call him NightRaven, fighting for America, freedom, democracy. Taking on the role here of the 3rd Armored Division versus the north, we got Happycat. Happiest of cats. Fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany and Deutschland. All the same thing. Funny that. Well, Wehrmacht Germany's not quite. Anyways, fighting here for the German army though. We're rolling out here with the... Oh, let's just say Panzerlehr, Panzerdivision, Guard, Mechanized Assault, Assault Support and German Infantry versus NightRaven, who dives immediately into heavy cavalry like a man eager to take a nice big swim in that sea that is the Pershing. Most likely. Triple infantry for him, triple infantry for Happycat. Grenadiers, MD-42s out there for Happycat being mobilized swiftly. NightRaven with double rifle squads. Sandbags being swiftly laid down. He's going to use the doctrine of more than just going for the Pershing. Thumbs up. So there's clearly some more thought to this besides, I want a really big tank. That's always a positive. Also worth noting that with Happycat, 2 of his doctrines do involve Tiger tanks. The 3rd one does not, and involves a lot of other fun things as well. Grenadiers on the way there for Happycat to back up the additional Grenadiers. So the 1st Grenadiers were rifling for NightRaven. Lots of sandbags, preparing battle position at a time there. Other squad heading northwards here. Noting, of course, he needs to grab this point as well there. More sandbags again. NightRaven is very thorough with his sandbags. Cat seems a bit sad in the background. That is Basil, that is. Sad Cat Basil, as opposed to Happy Cats in the game. Raven laying down sandbags here, Grenadiers moving about. Quickly occupying, coming up, opening up on the rifleman here. Pushing up here, running into the pioneers of the lane on sandbags by the eastern victory point. That should be an easily one engagement. And he's sandbagging the sandbags. I think in this case, there's basically so he can actually contest the point while being on it. Or at least grab it while having sandbags. I mean, for most intents and purposes, this is not really going to have a massive effect. There you go, MD-42 opening up. Holding up here with 2 Grenadiers to deal with them there. It's the pioneers MD-42 up at the reach side. I mean, in the center, it's actually incredibly vulnerable. If NightRaven introduces that, he could actually make a push to maybe try and either outmaneuver the position here or the position there. Cat seems really talkative, so my apologies there. Lieutenant on the way there for NightRaven. Happycat with tech up. And an additional Grenadier squad here. We'll have to see where this goes. Up north, MD-42 up on the rifle inside the house. Looks like he's going to push up here for the centre, either for the car point or try to move fast behind the MD-42, heading up centre where it's there. So he's basically leaving 1 rifle squad to occupy Happycat's force here in the southwest, as he then makes a bigger push here. Basil the fluffy cat arrives. Lurking towards me. Calf one being hit. Sandbagging the calf point as well. There you go, raveling up here. Basically using also the calf move as bait to allow the other rifles to inside the house. So on the flank, the MD-42. Nice move there by NightRaven. Catching Happycat off guard. Point there being secured. Raven there being suppressed rushed by the Grenadiers. Now going forward, setting up. Can he get past the MD-42 before he gets suppressed by the MD-42? And by Jove's nostril hairs, he manages it. Raven there versus Grenadiers, MD-42 there routed in the south. Raven moving up here. Lieutenant is also up in the field, though there's a bit delayed from the action there for NightRaven. Happycat, I believe, is taking up here. Rearson needs to retreat. Raven there are likely going to get wiped unless Happycat is too focused on the rear or NightRaven gets really lucky. But there's certainly a good chance of the Raven going down that. Be 280 manpower very quickly down the drain then for NightRaven. And somehow he actually manages it. Wow, that is really lucky for NightRaven. I mean, that could always be expensive. That's going to be a big tactical win there for Happycat in the early game. Since you can land any sort of wipes on the American rifle in the early game, it tends to sort of, decently snowball. NightRaven here going for the M20. Interesting. Most players here go for the Stewart, but that could solely indicate NightRaven is A, feeling pressure, just wants to play really aggressively. Either way, we get the M20 here. We'll see if he lays down any mines with it, which could be great in diffusing any light vehicles Happycat might go for. Noting that Happycat has yet to commit to a doctrine, to a plan of greater action against the armies. See, Amerikanen. Norfolk Grenadiers pushing right at the rifleman. Light machine gun there being added to Happycat's Grenadiers. Centre victory point secure there. Back here we got the M20 right about done for NightRaven and the 3rd Armoured Division. Pushing up here, the rear sons may find themselves a bit halted by the M4 still. Good work up by NightRaven so far, delaying and stalling Happycat's fuel. That means it's going to be hard for him to push yet for medium armour and of course even light vehicles, and of course ensures that NightRaven's going to have the better chances of pulling a lead. Up north here they're trying to grab munitions, but that MG42 is having none out of it. Right from there going for the victory point in the east, and down here reinforcement going on, ambulance on the way, they're of course heal. Good upgrade long run, and we've got there the M20 joining in, armoured skirts being added, Grenadiers close being wiped out. That's going to be a bit of a blow there to Happycat and Lieutenant Rush and the Pioneers. South front he's going to be slowly lost here for Happycat and the Panzer Division. 2-2 on the way there for Happycat to counter the M20. Good choice there, and overall the 2-2 is well handled, a effective tool versus most players. As long as you play it well, keep it a good distance, it can harass, it can retreat, or hound retreating units, possibly wiping them out there. So a good 2-2 is actually a real pain in the ass for the opponent. We'll see what it ends up with. And of course, Happycat should be expecting it. So the question is here, how does Happycat prepare for it? I mean, doctrinally and you light vehicle wise, he does have marching laid down to help deal with it. But the question is, does he actually go for them, or does he want to go for something else? Okay, we got the captain here, Lieutenant Captain. Early game usually indicates he's going to try and stall into the Pershing, at least initially. Of course, we could all be surprised, and he's not going to do that. But for now, I mean, we sort of go by the average American play. It usually tends to scream, I'm stalling for a Pershing. But we'll see. I mean, he did use the sandbag, so, NightRaven could surprise. Happycat, meanwhile, there. Aggressive patrolling there. Grenadiers, ME4 caught down here by the riflemen. Gonna have to fall back there rapidly. The 2-2 guarding covering fire. And we got assault support. And we got, holy smokes, we got an officer out for Happycat. You do not see those very often. To say a pretty good unit if you know how to use all of the abilities. Concentrated fire is actually really good. Particularly with the veteran city, it becomes amazing. You got smoke, you got artillery, you got victor targets. And you got diversion, which can also be handy there. So we'll have to see there how Happycat makes use of the officer. But I'm great to see someone actually make use of the artillery field officer. That is amazingly fun. Meanwhile there, NightRaven's captain has arrived. Lieutenant upgraded the bazooka to help deal with the 2-2. That's rather standard. I imagine the captain's going to be equipped with a BAR. Got the M20 behind support fire here for the infantry in the east. 50 cavalry there raking the krauts. And up here we got riflemen in there to push back by the arrival of the officer, backed up by the 2-2. And can use a routed anti-tank loader to back up NightRaven versus light vehicles and possible medium armor here from Happycat, who's going for more pioneers. Interesting timing here. I'm guessing that Happycat is actually worried that NightRaven might be laying down mines. And so wants to secure minesweepers. I mean, it's an understandable, bit of paranoia. Most American players do not actually lay down mines, but the ones that do tend to be, a bit more unpleasant, so obviously you want to be ready for it. Yeah, I think could pop diversion to increase his durability. In this case, didn't need it. Captain was routed successfully by Oberleutnant Wilhelms. Yeah, his family wasn't very creative with its naming. 50 caliber. Oh, that's him turning about there. Keep forgetting he doesn't have a 50 caliber. There you go, going straight here for the artillery field officer. Rushing straight up close. 50 caliber raking away at him, and then of course, with no Panzerfaust, so anything to defend with there. I mean, what he could do is actually call in a smoke screen on the position, so that way cover up, but I'm guessing he wants to make sure the 2-2 could take it out. Lieutenant Rifleman dealing with Grenadiers and M4 pushing the car point. Nice push there by Happycat. 2-2 going for it, and there you go, anti-tanker sending up. 2-2 could go down here, Lieutenant moving in as well. 2-2 got away, very close one though, very close one. And again though, nice move there by NightRaven, again taking advantage of all the focus here to sneak up and hit the fuel point again. NightRaven very much important there with harassing Happycat's fuel and making him a less of a Happycat. Nice play there. Unless of course you're Happycat, you might not quite be as appreciative of that little detail. In fact, possibly the opposite. Okay, we got here an upgrade, could be anti-aircraft half-track, could be pack howitzers. We'll have to see what is up there with the NightRaven versus Happycat. Basil the Sandcat seems to be sleeping somewhere, having had his little kitty tantrum. Victory point there seized, and before doing the rifle, as they tried to continue harass there. No mines there being attempted. Either way, Happycat's got the mine sweepers again. He is taking no chances. With the NightRaven, he has a solid respect of his opponent and decides that A, he's going to need more pioneers eventually, and he'd rather make sure that on the off chance his opponent does lay down mines, he's not going to want getting his feet blown off. Weapon racks up there for NightRaven, very good choice. Back here, no take up yet for Happycat. Hopefully does not try and stall for the Tiger tank. Maybe a bit, you know, silly and a bit dull if they both tried to stall for the big tanks, but I guess we could end up there. Got the artillery field officer moving up. Then moving away. Running off the cover here by the cut-off point. Not a bad idea at all. You can see NightRaven dug in here. Good use of sandbags and tank traps from anyone else who wants to use. Artillery field officer up, no use of the abilities. Even smoke just, you know, help negate incoming fire a bit. Skirmishing these is not going to working out there from Happycat and the Panzerland. There we go, M20 joining in. Closing in on Veteran 2. So far, Happycat on the defensive, going for the Pack 40. Pack out somewhere there for NightRaven. Very interesting. Not entirely sure what NightRaven's planning here. But this current sort of state of resources and everything, honestly, he'd be better off just trying to push for medium armor rather than stalling for a Pershing, because he's got map control. He's consistently denying his opponent resources. He'd be much better off just trying to push for medium armor rather than stall for a Pershing. But, I mean, he could try and do it, but it would certainly, I think, give Happycat a really good chance to get back into the game. Let's see what it ends up with. Oh, snap! Telemine went off, wiping out the rifle squad. Here's another way to use a telemine, and well, telemines were used as demo charges as well by the Germans, so I guess that was appropriate, except of course I had to use the 2 to set it off, but nasty. I don't think that's what Happycat had imagined when he laid down telemine, but I imagine he's not too upset about it. But Jurgen, that's an anti-tank mine. It's not supposed to blow up people. People, tanks, what's the difference? They're not armored. Who cares? Say blow up, be happy. You need to look at the bigger picture, Heinz. Blowing up Americans is good. Anyways, Grenadiers, artillery field officer moving about there. Trying standing about. Got the 2-2 and hot pursuit again, anti-tank, and they're screening off there. Quick shot, missed though. No sign of taking it yet there for NightRaven, though I would say he's very much got options for it. I'm trying to then the southwest needs to be careful. Might be, he's going to try and use it as bait to keep the 2-2 for long enough to hit it with the bazookas, maybe the anti-tank as well, but no. Pack 40 was also moving for the start to pull back. MD42 covering the centre. Might be an idea here for Happycat to consider another MD4 to help deal with some of NightRaven's infantry in the east. Big push here happening, or at least decent push. Somebody's moving up the centre. Lieutenant they're holding up the way there. Noting he's been upgraded with a BAR as well. They're very good by NightRaven. Most of his infantry has been upgraded one way or the other. Good stuff. But honestly, he could easily be taken out for medium armor now. Easy. And there we go. So we're not seeing any Pershing stalls there for NightRaven. Excellent. Excellent. So he's going to be pushing out medium armor. Of course, for Happycat, that is less excellent, since of course that means he's going to be pressured faster than he probably wants to. And if NightRaven makes as good use of his tanks as sometimes his infantry, that could prove to be really devastating for Happycat, who is a bit short on the blowing up army tanks department. Having essentially only a single Pack 40 to stop the American war machine. Victory points wise, it's actually pretty close between the two. Been a bit back and forth there. Got the M20 moving up there, 9 kills. Veteran 2 going straight for those pioneers. And should be gunning them pretty fast. Anti-tank covering the centre. Rifle almost taken out by the artillery field officer, artillery barrage, the heavy mortars. Pioneers routed, and we got the Major out here for NightRaven. Happycat though is also taking up, but he's got to be a bit behind there in most manners. And NightRaven should be able to push out a fast Sherman. He didn't go for a fast as Scott he wants to, but Sherman will probably be the better choice. Oh, snot biscuits. Almost taken out there by the pack howitzer. And these two blocking any sort of immediate advance there from NightRaven and the 3rd Armored Division before trying to deal with all these advancing Yankees. Happycat is just trying to break through the cordon here that NightRaven has established, but he is not finding much success. Captain almost taken out by the 2-2 and the MD-42. Nice work there by Happycat. Rifleman on watch. And he can go for the Sherman now and he immediately pops it. Very good, very good. Meanwhile, Happycat is setting up the support. Of course, you'll be able to go for a Panzer IV reasonably fast as well. Rifleman over against the Lieutenant. I mean, arguably, NightRaven could have shown up faster, just not going for the Captain, just, you know, going for weapon X faster, guns and bazookas out faster. That way, I think he's gone away with skipping it. Does seem a bit superfluous, but ultimately, I mean, it does give him more options in the longer run. But he could have Sherman out faster. He could have it out faster, I think, personally. Also worth noting, he hasn't actually been laying down any mines. Bit of a shame there, bit of an oversight by NightRaven, in my own humble opinion. But Sherman, they're about to hit for the field for the 3rd Armored Division. Panzer on the way for Happycat and the Panzer Division. So named because it was pulled together from a lot of instructional units across Germany, like what was known as Lehr units. Sort of followed, and quite kind of thing the Germans already did, where they basically just form up with these Lehr units out of different instructional units across Germany, and they were the Reich. And those form up battalions in the sense of frontline. That way, they would gain combat experience and use that to update the curriculum back in the different sort of training units. And the Panzer basically just took all of these to sort of form a more, shall we say, instant elite unit, but taking all of these veteran trainers, instructors, and whatnot, so that way form up a unit. So, little fun fact there. And would include, you know, a variety of people, including also just direct veterans from the Eastern Front. Pack 40 Pioneers bring up back up by Grenadiers, a lot of light machine fire here, racing down close, getting shot to bits, M20 moving up. Close to 50. Oh, he actually has been laying down mines. He's in fact the M6. Possibly, yeah, that would be pretty cheeky there for Happycat if he hits that one. Unit wiped out, the bit of loss there for NightRaven. No Rangers, he might want to consider those. He's obviously trying to take out the mine there before it blows up under his feet. In the east, though, we got the Sherman back up, another push against him before 2. Nice work. He could have thrown down a smoke stream with the Sherman, but he's to push through. Panzer for the rounding here for Happycat to deflect the push in the east by NightRaven, just in time there. But again, I think the Sherman could have just, you know, popped the smoke stream, allowing the infantry rush it. But instead he tried to just shoot it out with it. Less efficient. Another anti-tank being brought up to help deal with the Panzer IV. Could be he might now try and stall for the Pershing. But at least he's got a tank out, I guess. Gonna use his rifle near pack out to pull back a bit further there, bit exposed. Could be stolen there by Happycat theoretically. Oh dear, mine is still there. Sherman falling back, here's the right flank is collapsing under the Panzer IV pack combo. A720 to the cart there for NightRaven. Panzer IV straight to the M1 anti-tank gun. High rate of fire makes it very obnoxious for German light vehicles and medium armor, as it can tear through them very fast and get 2 of them up. You actually have a chance of losing a medium tank if you're not immediately able to pull it out of the line of fire, like right away, because again they shoot so fast, you know, 1 volley, half health, 2nd volley, dead. And they shoot roughly 50% faster than say a Pack 40, so they have a reasonably high rate of fire for an anti-tank gun. Calling in artillery on the pack cards, so using the artillery field officer. Close one there, but sadly NightRaven was able to pull it out for them, of course, unless you're NightRaven, in which case you were luckily able to pull out in time. MD-42 number 2 on the way there to help back up as all the infantry, not a bad idea. And we got an orbital blitz to help secure resources. The Orbital Blitz cargo truck, one of many cargo trucks that Germans operate. I believe the Orbital Blitz was actually an attempt to standardise some of the trucks they're using, which actually caused quite a few logistical issues doing Operation Barbarossa because they're using so many different tracks. Also, a little fun side detail, there's actually a half-track version of the Orbital Blitz known as the Orbital Maultier, which basically used tracks from, I believe, Universal Carriers and such. It's a little fun note there. MG4 to the need to retreat. Oh, white by the Major. That is a bad element there for Happycat. In particular, if NightRaven does steal and turn against, looks like the Major might be on the way to just do exactly that. Or someone else might be. But Panzer IV to the rescue here. It's going to stop that machine from being stolen by the Americans. Overall, the NightRaven remains a map control here versus Happycat. It's also got the victory point lead now over Happycat. In the south here, we've got the M20 versus the MB42 number 2. 14 kills in that one. Mine still remains in its place. And there you go. Machine gun recruit. But quickly taken out by the captain pretty fast. Noting has caught upgrade with double bars as well. Very good. Officer here nearby. Can't say the fight could be help, but guess it wasn't needed in the end. Just the appearance of Oberleutnant Wilhelm Wilhelms was enough to put the fear of the Third Reich into those silly Americans. No, Pershing instead is going to go for the Jackson here. Might be a bit worried about German armour. Of the heavier kind, I mean, just a second Sherman would probably serve much better versus the Panzer IV, to be honest. Since that can also help deal with the infantry and, has a reasonably good rate of fire, plus smoke. Also very nicely cost efficient. And, Jackson also works. But a part of me would probably just suggest a second Sherman. It rather depends. Is Happycat expecting a Tiger tank when he's seen the Orbital Blitz? We should have noticed it. And the officer, so Tiger tank is obviously going to be something that happens, and of course in which regard going for the Jackson at that time is not a bad idea. It might even deter Happycat just a bit from going for it, though most likely not. Some of these still wiped out. That's a bit of blow then. Panzer IV almost taken out here by all of the anti-tank guns. Again, their high rate of fire can allow them to very quickly do some heavy damage. Sherman not retreating though. Oh, there we go. It's very close there to losing his Panzer IV. That left Happycat in a very desperate position then. Only even more desperate if NightRaven just gone for a second Sherman. But either way, Sherman there, 2-2 cadet by an anti-tank rifle grenade, which is in a bad spot. There we go, down to half health. Also close to the ace level. Hitting the eastern point here with a Major. Machine gun setting up, could call in another artillery strike if he wanted to, and if he had the munition, which as it turns out he does not. Spoke a bit too soon there. Jack's moving up there with 90mm gun, same as used by the Pershing as well, as a fun fact. M36 Jackson was along with the M10 Wolverine, actually based off the chassis of the Sherman tank. It was only the M18 Hellcat that actually had a more specifically built chassis for it as a tank destroyer. It was also a very light one though, armoured one. Anyways, MG42 was back here by the Lieutenant. Back here, troops in reinforcing. Sherman M20 good to go. Worth noting that M20 was usually paired alongside a few jeeps with tank destroyer units, like the M36 Jackson to basically act as reconnaissance and spotters for them. Fun fact there. Rather getting glassed by the Grenadiers, rifling it off, almost takes out the entire unit. Up north here, Lieutenant Major routed here by the artillery field officer, backed up by some good German Panzerwaffe. Happycat, it looks like, is going for the Tiger tank here, deciding that more armoured measures are needed to halt the advance of the armies. Captain on watch for the southern victory point. All three, of course, under control of him for now. We got his opponent down to 280. He's at still 322. Happycat's going to have to work hard here to turn this around, and of course need to be mindful of the anti-tank guns. A Panzer Grenadier squad would be really helpful here to pull off good flanks in the anti-tank guns, since the assault rifles plus Bone Grenade could do some heavy damage. Almost losing his Panzer IV. That was definitely not an well-advised armoured attack there by Happycat. And the Panzer IV went down. That is a bit of a nightmare. Even if he goes for the Tiger tank, he's going to be severely outgunned versus NightRaven. So he's going to have to use that Tiger tank like an absolute tactical genius. He's going to have to turn out to be Michael Wittmann with that bloody thing. Or NightRaven just has to turn out to be really dumb all of a sudden. That's also possible. Either way, that Tiger tank mobilised here for the Panzer Division. She's in the point here. Advancing with that Tiger tank, Pale Up machine gun being added. Pioneers moving ahead, rifle under fire from the Grenadiers, light machine gun, Tiger tank rolling ahead there. The Tiger tank, I believe, acts at roughly the same speed as a Sherman tank as well. Little fun note there. Setting that one up, Pale Up machine almost done. Pioneers on fire from the M20, Tiger tank impact 40 backing it up. Shot fire, missed, but still did some damage to the damage. There they go. Pack 4 lands a hit, no smokes in there, could take it out, and there you go. The M20's down. A small victory for Happycat, but he's got a lot more American things and infantry to blow up. Tiger shoots, misses, already half health, not a good development there for Happycat. Grenadiers almost being wiped out as well here. Tiger tank, those smashes apart, rifle from the lieutenant's team there, very good. More rifle there being obliterated by the Tiger tank. A bastion of German engineering. It repulses the American attackers, but only for so long. Nice major moving up here into the MD42. Nicely dug in there behind some sandbags here, healing unfortunately going for NightRaven. He could be tempted to go for the Pershing, but not be a bad one. He's got this Sherman, he's got the Jackson, he's got plenty of other stuff, so it's not like he's going to get immediately rolled. If he tries to stall for the Pershing here, I would say he's got the sort of force composition that would exactly allow him to do so. As for Happycat, he needs armor support for his Tiger tank. Fast! The immediate advance would bring up a Stug 3G to provide just more raw firepower to back up the Tiger tank versus the Jackson and the Sherman. MD4 was saying nothing with the Sherman, closing in lecture 2 with that one. Tiger tank being fished up. Troops are healing, reinforcing. Got this artillery field officer. Want to keep calling him an assault officer or something like that, but obviously he's got artillery field officer in his name. Always confuses me for some reason. Anyways, MD4 Grenadiers moving up, engaging the captain in the centre. Bars are plenty. Sherman moving up there. Tiger tank is almost good to go. Oh, it actually is good to go. Pack 40 as well there. We got a fragmentation bomber. Here's a possibility for Happycat, so time it correctly could do some damage there to NightRaven. I would think it required distraction just to catch him off guard, so he's not paying attention to its landing because he might be paying attention to the Tiger tank, in which case the strike could do a lot of damage. So there you go, anti-tank and crew dead. He's probably going to seize it with the Grenadiers. Pack 40 with Titan right the Sherman down to half health and not seizing it. Interesting. Going straight for the car point right away. Sherman here being pursued by the Tiger tank. Lieutenant moving in here. Pack being pushed back. And they're going to tank it up the Tiger tank. Lieutenant almost obliterated by the Tiger tank. We got 8 kills, and we could see the Lieutenant go down there to the Tiger tank. There we go, annihilated. NightRaven is not far off from the Tiger tank, but he's suffering a lot in the process. And there you go, fragmentation bombing run called in against the anti-tank, and he angle called in to could be a bit better, but still. Anti-tank gun obliterated. That means both of his anti-tank guns are decrewed, and one of them is actually utterly destroyed. He didn't get the other anti-tank gun, but he could quickly try and destroy it with the Tiger and anti-tank. But there goes Sherman, flanks the Tiger. And Happycat's going to have to get the Tiger tank into a better position, otherwise he's going to lose it. There you go, main gun up on the Sherman tank. Pack 40 here is doing a bloody 360. Turn Tiger tank almost down there. Go, gets the Sherman, the Jackson still about. Pack 4 lands a nice hit. Blitzing away there. Can he get away? Likely not. And there you go, the Jackson gets the Tiger, obliterating Happycat's remaining source of happiness as he watches the Tiger tank blow up. And his opponent about to hit him with a Pershing. That is really unpleasant there for Happycat. He's going to have to do some hard work to turn this one around. In this regard, the Over Blitz does help him a bit, with the fuel to at least slightly push towards a new Tiger if he wants to, but honestly, he should probably just go for Stugs. Or Panzer Force with Stugs. I think trying to stall for a second Tiger tank right now would be a bit silly. But we'll see what that works out. Mine bar is still there. And we got more rifle on the way there for NightRaven to replace losses. Interesting enough, not going for Rangers. At least just waiting for the Pershing first and then calling something, because they could easily just cancel rifle and call in the Pershing and then just follow up with some infantry, in which case again I'd probably recommend, Tigers. Not Tigers, but Rangers. Some more elite assault infantry with the Thompson I think would do good for him here versus Happycat. Hitting the car point again. trying to get pressure against his opponent. Very good. Smoke's been called in. Oh, that's artillery actually. That is artillery. 4-2 bagging up, an aggressive push here around the car point side. This really does not work out. Does it? No. Going to use wing up to defend the centre. We're at 125 to 304. Point secured. Oh, Blitz can move back in at half health. He's theoretically not too far off from a target tank. And it seems like Happycat is actually trying to go for another one. But there you go. Pushing out for NightRaven and the 3rd Armour Division. Panzerlehr, Panzerdivision's about to have a bit of a rough time. Oh well, rougher. Troop shielding reinforcing. Oh, Blitz is taking up at another point. Still helps a bit with extra fuel and munitions. S-mounts on the car point. A nice attempt there, but sadly utterly ruined by the Pershing. Gonna use the need to get away. Second pack falling there to help stall for that Pershing. Pack 4 lands a decent hit there on the Pershing, doing some nice damage. Gonna use though are taking an absolute brutal beating from the Pershing. Rifleman setting out. And there you go, second pack 40 out. Points being seized. 17, gonna lose reinforcing healing. Pack 40 out. But yeah, Happycat is actually trying to go for another target tank here. That is really bold considering now he's up against the Pershing and the Jackson. There's still at least one thinking about. He's going to have to pull off some real magic this time around. He's really fond of using the artillery field as a call-in. Sadly, he's not so keen on using the other abilities. There's a bit of smoke, but sadly, no concentrated fire, despite that actually being a really good ability. I mean, for example, you know, if you use it with the target tank, it actually boosts the target tank's rate of fire, meaning it would shoot faster. Which isn't exactly a bad thing. But he's not far off. He's got the fuel, he just needs the manpower now. Machine gun there getting blasted by the Pershing. Quite blasted. He needs to be careful about sticking around to his own mine for too long. He theoretically could have it set off, in which case the Pershing, you know, would get stuck if it didn't just get blown up. And there you go. Overtaking that there with the double pack 40s. Not bad there. Tiger tank is very close here for Happycat. He's got the fuel, he just needs to save up the manpower. Which is probably a bit easier said than done considering how he's constantly suffering minor casualties he needs to replace. Back here, healing enforcement. Tiger tank is not far off there from Happycat. Not far off at all. Roughly a minute away, but even then, that's going to be one rough minute here. And meanwhile, as NightRaven continues to launch assault after assault, he's at 92. Versus NightRaven's 234. That is, they're taking a nice hit from the pack counter bar weight. 14 kills, virtually 2. Nice work there. Getting the victory point in the south with the field officer. He keeps reinforcing his stuff. He really needs to decide, does he actually want the Tiger or not? Because he's going to have to at least delay reinforcing some of his stuff to actually, you know, get the manpower needed to get the bloody thing. Otherwise, he's never going to get the Tiger tank. At which point, you know, he might as well go for something else, like say, you know, Pair Stooks or Panzer IV something. I mean, that's a bit the dangerous thing with going for a Tiger. I mean, you're just going to end up sending so many resources, you know, on hold until you begin going for other stuff again. So there's a lot of risk involved with this, and that's something he has to be very mindful and careful about. There you go, he's reinforcing recklessly. He's also got a bit of air support ready there straight from when it comes down to it. We've got 86 versus 233. Artillery field officer could get wiped out with the Pershing. 9mm gun there ready to splat out any Germans. Okay. We're not far off now for the Tiger tank. Seconds away. Can he actually go for it? He's going to suddenly decide to reinforce something else. And there we go. Tiger. Gefechtsbereit. He finally did it. He finally did it. That one at least, I think, roughly half a minute sooner. Oh wait, Tiger tank mobilized. Pin machine being added. Open blitz down though. Bit of a loss there for German logistics. And they took that stuff seriously. Troops are healing, reinforcing. Tiger tank needs to get going. Pin machine being added. Pershing rolling eastwards. Oh, straight into the Pack 40s though. Looks like Happycat had a nice read then. Oh no, an absolute turnaround here against NightRaven using the heavy armored front. That's going to be the tight of Pershing down here. Letting him over the Jackson and then to Tangan. There might be a small glimmer of hope. Now I'm here for Happycat to turn this around as long as it doesn't do anything too silly. Infantry to Tangan, it's moving up here, pushing in the west, south there. We also got a bit of movement there. Quickly moving down to Tangan. Grenadiers following up. Very good, very good. Bazooka team's still on the flank here. Or not. And the tank gun down, that's a bit of a bad limb here. Rifles suppressed by the MD42 in the south. In fact, double MD42s. Pack cards good to go down. We got the Jackson right now. NightRaven is actually deeply exposed against the Tiger tank. And he's trying to take in the path here, which means he gets within range for the Tiger easily. And that could actually mean the Tiger has a chance of winning this. Since at close ranges, the Jackson's advantage, which is it has more range, doesn't exactly play out. At which point the Tiger tank's more health and higher rate of fire will be, to the advantage against the Jack. But he still ends up pulling back. He does not risk it. Happycat does not want to end up losing another Tiger tank, no matter what. In this case, of course, also got the Pack 40, so he could first, bait the Jackson into that. Either way, though, Happycat is actually turning this round here against NightRaven with only 50 points left. NightRaven then got a bit too confident for a brief moment, and Happycat just slapped him silly for it. 19 kills on that artillery field officer. I'm surprised he's been able to keep him alive for so long, but overall he's been doing reasonably well with it. I just wish we'd see a bit of concentrated fire. Again, it's a good ability. And in fact, he's almost used all of the doctrine except for the strafing runs. So that's also impressive there. NightRaven's been using rifleman defensive structures and Pershing, and I think that's it. I don't think he's using the smoke, certainly not the ranges, and well, no combined arms either. Tiger tank, they're almost good to go. Back here, reinforcement going in there for Happycat.
We're at 200 points.
Creation on the way there for NightRaven. Troops halted. Happycat is now in control of the map, but he's the one in charge. Pack out to find the MD42. Nasty hit there. And an immediate retreat there in the end. Decides not to risk it. We got telemines down there. The M6 tank mine is still there. Sadly, never seeing any usage really. Comparatively, Happycat telemines, at least in one case, serves as something else. Jack's moving out here for NightRaven. Grenadiers on the fire. We got the pack front going up here to deal with the Jackson. Jackson rolling back, going for the deal with, of course, the threat of things to blow apart. A rather close quarter shot there from the pack car to defeat Jackson. We got the right and close line of the Tiger tank. We got the pack force joining in, and there we go. We got full doctrinal bingo from Happycat. Bingo. He wins absolutely nothing, but he gets to say bingo, which is supposed to be its own reward in itself. But there you go. Victory for Happycat and the Panzerdivision, and NightRaven was torn apart there. He was doing, I think, quite well for most of the match, but ended up making a few mistakes in there, in particular a few crucial mistakes, which allowed Happycat to just push through and, beat him silly. So a nasty little fight here on the road to Kharkov, featuring assault support using every ability, Tiger tanks, air support and whatnot, versus NightRaven, who could use his doctrine a bit better, but say overall played, quite solid as well. But again, there are a few tactical errors which rather cost him dearly. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. Tell your friends, tell your family, but don't tell your enemies. This is Imperial Links and cheers. Thank you for watching. You all a wonderful audience. Hope to see you all tomorrow again for another episode. Bye.